everybody, welcome to Inside the Den Special Edition Coffee with a Coach. This is episode 3. I have head coach Phil Burnett joining us for Coffee with a Coach today. But you know what? I brought a coffee. I got my coffee and I even fixed it, WSU Wrestling. And Phil, what'd you bring? Show everyone what you brought.
I brought my water and my donate here card.
Yeah. So no coffee. I'll hold the coffee down and you stay hydrated. So just before we get started, let's make sure that we thank all of the current and past donor sponsors to the WSU wrestling program. Thank you so much for all of your support, your generosity. It really makes is making a difference in the lives of student athletes at WSU. You can find us on Instagram at WSU_wrestling. If you want to find out more about WSU Wrestling, or you can make a donation there at it's urec.wsu.edu. So those are some places that you can find us. Also, and we're going to talk about the golf tournament today, but if you're before we forget, we'll just make sure we mention now, information about the golf tournament can be found on handbid.com. So if you type in your Google search bar, events.handbid.com, you can go in there and you can search and you'll find the WSU Wrestling golf tournament, which is what we're gonna kick off our conversation with that today. So Coach Phil, we're 7 days out from the golf tournament.
Yeah, next Saturday, July 22nd. High Cedars Golf Course in Orting, Washington.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the golf tournament. If I'm a golfer, what do I need to do if I want to golf?
7 thing you want to do is contact us. You can reach out to my cell phone, 206-255-0795, and let me know that you're interested. We're putting in our 50 golfers that we currently have into the golf course today. They've asked for it for today, but we can still take golfers up to the day of the event even. So you can still go on Handbid and order your green fees. Your $125 green fee comes with the range balls, cart, and we'll have refreshments. There's all kinds of fun prizes, longest drive, closest to the pin. We'll have mulligans for sale, string for sale. It's an awesome event. And then directly following is our 10-year reunion for our 10 years of operation at WSU with our club wrestling team, which proud to say is now a varsity club team.
Yeah. So excited.
Yes.
And definitely when we're done talking about golf, I think we definitely need to make sure we hit on that and some other items. But when you talk about longest drive, I suddenly have this image of all the wrestlers out there just trying to get I don't know if wrestlers make good golfers or not, but we're certainly competitive, that's for sure.
That's funny.
They may not want to try to get in the hole, but I can see them wanting to, who's got the longest drive. Okay, so if I want to go to the banquet, how do I get tickets to the banquet? How do I do all those kinds of things?
Same thing. You can go on the handbid.com and you can order just banquet tickets. You don't have to golf. Okay. Although we encourage you. Everybody's hungry after a round of golf and thirsty. And so it's a catered dinner with barbecued ribs or barbecued chicken. So I think the ticket's $35. That includes gratuity. And then there'll be beverage carts there for people to purchase beverage of their choices. The banquet will start pretty much directly after the golfing is done, which our guests going to be like early afternoon around 3:00. We're going to have an awesome setup with some videos and some pictures. And we've got an auction with a lot of really cool stuff that's been donated by a lot of people. A lot of people are making homemade stuff, and We have people that have donated like a round of golf at a country club.
Oh,
Yeah, just a lot of cool stuff. So just going to be an awesome event to celebrate these awesome student athletes that we're serving.
yeah. So I'm coming, as you know. I'm the chicken. My husband's the ribs. We're really looking forward to that portion.
For
And
sure.
while I won't be golfing, the auction is like my favorite thing. And whenever I've done these kinds of auctions and I quote win something, my husband's like, "Well, it's not like you won it, you know. We are paying for it, whatever." But
Right.
it's thing. So no, I'm excited about that. And just for me also still very new to the WSU Wrestling family. I'm really looking forward to all the new people that I'm gonna meet. You know, wrestlers, supporters, everybody that I haven't met yet. And so I know I'm really looking forward to that. And then of course we're gonna have a lot of our wrestlers are gonna be there. Our men and women, we're gonna have a lot of them in attendance. And so I think it's going to be a really great, it's going to be a great day. I'm just really looking forward to it. And yeah, we're the countdown is really beginning. So golf, the golf event next Saturday, but there's more things in the works for this summer. Let's just talk about, you know, what from your end as head coach, and then working, of course, with James Cox, our student body president, and all of our student leaders. What's kind of in the works this summer?
Well, we got a lot going on. We've brought Cliff Keen in, Cliff Keen Athletics to assist us with uniforms and a new gear package that we're ordering. Each athlete will have a 5-piece gear package.
Nice.
Backpack, custom headgear,
Wow.
custom hoodie, custom t-shirts with their names on the back, and a custom pair of fighting shorts. And then we're ordering up some new singlets for competition. We're really, and we've been doing this all along, but we're really making the steps to get as professional as we possibly can. And the officers are just incredible, the work that they're doing. We have officers that like Sarah Plummer is living in Pullman this summer, has a job, and she goes into the UREC Center office and fills out thank you cards to thank you all of our sponsors and donors. And we've had a tremendous outpouring of people wanting to help us financially, and to be a varsity program and to be significant, we have to travel the country. We need to get to the best competition in the country early in the season so that we can prepare for national tournament and national duels properly. So that's kind of what that's all about. James Cox is working on a video presentation for the banquet. It's going to be awesome. Kobe Bowie has done just a phenomenal job.
Yep.
Just hats off to Kobe for his work with our gear package and the marketing design and things that they're doing. You know, we have other officers like John Conlon, Tyson Russell, Mariama Job. They're all just stepping in. I think Luke Reed as well. Just really taking charge of bringing this program to the forefront. We've got some new wrestling mats for our workout room. We're super excited for that. We've got some incredible recruits coming in. Best recruiting class I've had in the 6 years that I've been there. We have multiple state champions coming in, several finalists, and guys that have just wrestling that are just since they were little kids, a lot of them, and they want to continue their education at an awesome university. And ain't it great that we have the chance for them to continue their wrestling careers at a high level as well?
Yeah, Yeah, let's as we talk about in all the podcasts that we've done so far, whether it's with athletes or coaches, we all talk about the chance to continue wrestling after high school. But that WSU wrestling, as competitive as we want to be, the number one priority is still on the books. Talk a little bit about your goals for the student athletes that come into the wrestling program and how committed we are to academics, and what is kind of what does that look like from your perspective?
That's everything from my perspective. I didn't have the opportunity to go to college. Both of my sons went to college, and what I want to see is the best foot put forward for our athletes to be students first, athletes second.
Mm-hmm.
So we have as bad as we want them to be in the top shape and wrestle the best, we have a policy that if you need study time, you miss wrestling practice if needed. We have some of the most incredible facilities on campus where the athletes can go get workouts after their studies are done. But we have an open policy where if your schoolwork is behind or you want to get ahead and you just need to miss a day, then that's what we do. We have mechanical engineers, we have nurses, we have dentists, we have ROTC students, we have computer science, kinesiology, sports management, business management, pretty much everything under the sun, veterinarians. And it's a load. But we practice 5 days a week. We grind. Being varsity, it appears they're going to give us some extra time in the wrestling room. So we'll probably up our practice times to 3 hours, which instead of 2, but my goal would be to get the work done in an hour and a half or 2, and then spend the other hour just fine tuning and going over things and doing extra work, cardio. One of the things our team does is they have personal trainer that the UREC provides us, and 2 days a week, they get together in the mornings and do CrossFit training and strength training and agility training, which is vital to the sport.
Yeah.
And it just, our mission at Washington State is when our athletes leave the program, we want them to be the most employable person with their resume that whatever business they apply to sees. And I think a testimony to that is 9 academic All-Americans last year. We would have had 2 more if it wasn't for injury. Yeah. And we had the #1 academic women's team in the nation. Of all the women's teams in the entire NCWA, our women's team has the best academic standing. And so it's something we're super proud of. I mean, our kids, while we were in San Juan, Puerto Rico, we had at least 15 kids take tests while they were there. Susan was busy proctoring tests. So
for anyone who doesn't understand what we're talking about here, often when you're in a university program and you travel, your test, you don't take your test typically while you travel and you're competing. But since this, we're a varsity club program, the kids still have to, if there's a test on Tuesday and they're traveling, they're taking the test. So Phil's wife, Susan, acts as the proctor for all of these exams, like overseeing the exam, making sure the kids aren't, our group wouldn't cheat, but she still has to do her job. And so there were 17 of those while we were in Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, 15, 17, something like that.
It was a lot. I mean, just think about it. You're at your national tournament, you're training, you got to make weight, all this stuff. And oh, by the way, I got to take I think was it Annika or somebody took like a chemistry test and another test like in the same day or like back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah. A pretty different experience compared to most regular students and certainly most, university student athletes.
But then to answer the rest of your question, Andrea, throughout the summer, this year, more than any year in the past, we have more athletes. I mean, they're super busy during the summer. Several of them are in internships.
Yeah, they are.
All work. You know, several of them live out of state. So they're, you know, and they're trying to get their family time and things like that. But we have more athletes working out legitimately every single day than we've ever had.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see that come to fruition when we get to camp in October. The season's coming quick, and we're excited. I've never been so excited going into a season ever. We have, I believe, 42 men
Yep.
signed up on the roster right now, and we just picked up a female wrestler from White River High School, and she is number 19, I believe, on our women's roster at the moment.
Awesome.
And we're still 3 months away.
Yeah.
And so we know that's going to grow. Super excited about that.
Yeah, that doesn't count all the kids that will capture on campus when school starts.
Yeah. All of our wrestlers wear Cougar wrestling gear, and we have several kids on our team that just didn't realize how legitimate the club was. They may have known about it, but just thought it was, you know, just a club. Well, you come into our wrestling room and it's the real deal. I mean, this isn't tiddlywinks and chess. This is the real deal. These kids are serious, and
I'd like to see our wrestlers play chess. Actually,
We got a couple pretty good wrestlers. Coach Kyler is a chess master, so.
Oh, he's the master in everything?
Well, he beat me for the first time here recently, so I gotta brush up.
All right.
Yeah.
No, the wrestling room, I think I mentioned it to you before. It's the same wrestling room that was there when I was at school there. And when those new mats arrive, that room is going to be really nice. I mean, it's already a really nice dedicated space. I mean, the fact that it's still there and you guys have access to it, and sounds like with the varsity club status, even more access to it. I mean, clubs should be so lucky. Even some university programs don't have what WSU Wrestling has on campus. Yeah, super lucky.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. The staff, you know, Joanne Green, Melanie Rossetti, Kyler Hunt, the people at the UREC are just Melissa. There's 2 Melissas. They're just a team of people that we couldn't do it without their support. And they, you know, we're one of the biggest club teams along with the men's rowing team on campus. I mean, we have, by the time it's said and done, we'll have 60 or 70 athletes in this program. I think we're going on our 4th year of the largest team number wise in the entire NCWA. We had 45 men and 12 women last year on the team roster.
Yeah.
And then we ended the season with 34 men competing and 8 women. So we're looking to double our numbers on the women's side. And I see that happening because we have a super young team and everybody's coming back, and the excitement of and the quality of wrestlers that we have coming in on campus. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do. We're excited. One of our events that, you know, we'll talk about as we move forward, but on October 28th at Sumner High School down in Sumner, Washington, will be our first event. It's going to be a college showcase. It's going to be the men's and women's team from Washington State wrestling Grays Harbor and Western Washington. And then there'll be some other athletes there from the local area, from like PLU and University of Washington, that have smaller teams.
Yeah.
To involve them and get them mat space and time. But this college showcase is going to happen 2 weeks before the high school season. We're going to have packages for high school teams that come in with more than 10 players to give them discounts. We really want to get the exposure out there. to get the athletes that, you know, maybe aren't quite committed to a D1 program, you know, like Oregon State or Wyoming or Utah Valley. You now have an opportunity to wrestle at a high level in state and get a 4-year education at a major university that's going to set you up for life, you know, with your career and whatnot. And so we're super excited about that. And like I said before, the top recruits that we're getting now is really, we're excited about some of these. We're excited about everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some kids coming in. Yesterday we were at the our team volunteered to help at the Cub wrestling camp. Cedral Willie, Coach Brady and Justin just put on a phenomenal event up there. Brandon Kaler, All-American from Oregon State, was there. And our team was there. And we each had time to show our stuff and run the clinic.
Yeah.
And just phenomenal exposure for us.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all about. And we do 2 more camps later. We do one in December in Tri-Cities, and we do another one in January in Pullman. And we're looking to add a 3rd one probably over on the west side at some point. But our students love to give back to the sport. Our athletes know how important it is to give back to the sport of wrestling and to the youth. And so that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think we have, Coach, how many wrestlers from the WSU program have gone on to get coaching positions in high school or middle school? Are we at like 17, 12?
I think we're like 18 or 19. I've actually done 3 resume application references for 3 more wrestlers this summer that have all applied for coaching jobs.
Yeah.
And since the 10-year inception of the team in 2013, I believe we have 17 currently coaching either at the kids club level, USA Wrestling, junior high, high school, and Coach Cameron and Coach Hunter coaching college. So I got 2 of my best guys that I ever coached on my coaching staff. And so super excited about both of them, what they bring to the table. But there's a shortage of what I consider quality wrestling coaches, quality coaches, period. Yeah. And we need to bring that along and give back to the sport. And I'm super excited about that. And I believe the team that I coach now has probably 10 guys and gals that will eventually be in coaching someday.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, one of our seniors, Jake Jenneret, he's going into teaching. He's going to be a phenomenal coach. He'll probably coach football, wrestling, and baseball.
He's going to coach it all. He's going to be the principal. He's going to be the principal in like time. He'll be the district superintendent.
Yeah, and thank goodness for Rogan Copper, because 2 of our wrestlers came from Rogan's high school where he went, Eastlake High School, and both Evan Trauscher and David Darrick were coached by Rogan. And I had the privilege of having all 3 of those guys on the team, and met another one yesterday, Alex Cole, one of our recruits. He's a junior in high school. He went to the Cub camp, and he's another Eastlake kid that's going to come to Washington State and further his wrestling. So
the Eastlake pipeline.
That's exactly right.
So have you seen the episode with David yet?
I have not.
Oh shoot, I gotta get it to you. Of course I tried to introduce him, and before we taped it, I was like, how do you pronounce your name? And I had it right, and then of course when I went to go live, record, I botched it, and then I had do it's how do you say it, Coach?
Well, I call Tyson Tyler. I mean, you call Tyson Tyler.
I call Tyson Tyler.
I think Double D would just be a good nickname for David Darick.
Call him D2. Yeah. David is going to be a phenomenal coach.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
He was phenomenal yesterday.
I bet.
Yeah, shout out to David, Alex Grant,
Yeah.
Hiram Fertel, James Cox, our team leader and president, Genesis Vasquez, incoming freshman from Blaine High School, and our women's team captain, Julie Wilson. They did a phenomenal job. I just kind of sat back like a proud dad and watched them run the clinic, and they had an impact because after it was over, I had at least 15 or 20 of the kids, mostly the high schoolers, come up and thank me for having the team there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great event.
I think it's not everybody realizes that we do have a very established team at WSU, and so being able to have those opportunities to get in front of kids or their families, is really important. But also for our wrestlers to be leaders back in the community, like you said, and giving back. That group that you had in Cedro Willie, they all have the coaching bug. They're all gonna put back into the community, either during their summers off or their Christmas break off, and certainly when they graduate from school and move on to whatever is next in their life. So rest assured, WSU Wrestling's cranking out future coaches.
That's exactly right. That's our mission.
Yeah. What else do we have, Coach? I mean, you and I are going to do, I've already decided you and I are going to do a whole series. It's going to be like
All right.
Phil Burnett, series 1 through 5.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Tell everybody who doesn't know, just, I always share this with people when I talk about wrestling, the wrestling community, how we're kind of built different, how we kind of do things different. You don't live in Pullman year round. During the season, talk about how you like what your schedule is like and where you live when you're going up to do training.
So Susan and I, in early September, we'll have our first team meeting. We take the motorhome over. She follows me with our truck, and we take the motorhome over and we get it all set up. I've been blessed with a place to stay from a guy that is a longtime Pullman businessman that believes in what we're doing and has made it very affordable for me. So once we get set up, we get the 34-foot hallway set up. We're good to go. And I typically travel back on the weekends in the fall when it's nice because I'm able to get a lot done around the house. I'm not a guy that likes to sit around. And so, we practice Monday through Friday, and I would just go stir crazy on the weekends anyway. So I make the drive.
How long is that drive, Coach?
It's 5 hours. I've tried to, I could cut it down a little tiny bit by speeding, but I'm telling you, it's 5 hours no matter how you stack it up. But I'd drive a lot farther for these guys.
Yeah.
That's what it took. And then we're good to go till about November when it kicks the snow. I mean, when it snows, Susan, she pretty much doesn't stay over there with me as much. But we set up the motorhome. We got a skirting, try to keep things from freezing. I mean, it's a challenge. I'll have to winterize every time we go to a tournament or something and I'm not right there. I got to winterize the thing and do those types of things. But I'm only like 10 minutes from campus. I get together with the kids. There's sometimes they require rehabilitation of an injury and stuff. And so we'll get together at the workout center, in the mornings and go take care of that stuff. I have a lot of meetings and things I have to go to. but typically my day is just gearing up for practice so that I can give them the best. When they walk through that door, I want them to forget about class. I want them to forget about life and just come in and have fun, work hard, and wrestle. The biggest thing is you mentioned community, Andrea. We're a family. This team is a family, and that's how we base our entire operation. All the coaches are approachable. We want all of our athletes to be comfortable and feel like, my coach Mogensen's the one that kind of deserves a lot of this credit. He taught me a long time ago, Coach, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so that's kind of how we operate. I get emotional when it comes to this kind of stuff because these kids.
We should get emotional. These kids are
they move away from home. They are thrown into this university. They have no support.
Right.
But when you're on the wrestling team, you got support, you got family, you got people to help you move in, you got people to help you if your car breaks down, you got people to help you do whatever. Yeah. And it's the best fraternity ever.
And sorority.
Yeah, and sorority now, yeah. We're in our third year of our women's team. And so and we're just excited to have the vessel for us to give these kids the opportunities to wrestle in the state of Washington. There aren't that many. Back when I was a kid, UW had a program, and Washington State had a program, and Central and Eastern and everybody. So we're just excited about what's happening here, Andrea. It's a movement for sure.
I agree. And I keep saying I think I came in at the very best. all the really hard work has already been done. The real grinding to get started. I came out of the season and I was just like, I don't know that I've ever had so much fun. I don't know that I've ever been a part of a group that was so in unison about what the mission is, prioritizing academics, giving them the best quality wrestling experience that they can have, making sure that they have support, just not as athletes, but just as young people. Sure. College is not what it was when I went to school. These kids are dealing with a lot of things that I didn't have to. They are juggling more, and they just need a lot of support and a lot of positive people around them that are in unison in the same message, which is like, let's make sure school is okay first. Right. The wrestling stuff is going to fix itself. We can fix all that, but let's just make sure we're good with school, that you're healthy, that you're doing okay. I think, we really care about them as people. We care about their health and we care about their safety. And there's always more wrestling that can be done. There's always more. So, and
the mental health is a big thing for us. Positive mental attitude is everything, especially for a wrestler. Sport's so hard. You got to master the 6 inches between your ears with positive thinking, positive talk, positive self-talk. So we provide a pretty good support system. We have dietitian on our team. We have people that help with that. We have people that help with strength training. Coach Kyler, Coach Hunter, phenomenal in those areas. They've helped all of our guys. We have a group that reaches out to Kyler and different people for help with their grades, with studies, and not being afraid to ask for help, not being too proud to say, hey, I could use some help here, instead of finding out that you're academically ineligible. I've only had that happen to me twice in 7 years. This is going into my 7th year, and They were both extremely good athletes, and it really hurt to lose them on the mat. But to see the way they bounce back, like one of them is now a teacher and a head coach
Yeah.
in his junior high, and his assistant high school coach too. So
Speaking of like reaching out and asking for help, one of the things that I know you've talked about and even asked my husband recently is just creating a mentorship program of people. So for example, my husband is an attorney in the tech industry, and I asked him, hey, would you be willing to be a mentor to any of our students that are interested in going to law school or working in kind of the area of tech that he works in? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'd be happy to talk to, any of the wrestlers about future plans and what they're doing. And so talk a little bit about like our desire to create a mentorship program so that our engineering students have people to talk to that are working maybe at Boeing or, whatever the case may be. Or, if somebody wants to go into, like, we've got nursing students. So who do we have, that could act as a mentor for them? Talk a little bit about how we want to put that together.
yeah, basically, the one thing that I've done is just we're trying to bridge the gap in the community with wrestling with the high school too. Pullman High School is a phenomenal program, and we've been able to bridge the gap there a little bit. And one of the things that did for us is one of the wrestlers at Pullman High School, his dad is the head of the mechanical engineering department at Washington State.
Oh, great.
And so I've got 7 or 8 mechanical engineers that have his card and his number, and he's told us that reach out anytime. It's little things like that the sport of wrestling kind of opens doors for. And we just talk a lot about making sure that you don't procrastinate asking for help, because then it just piles up. And so, and then the other thing too is the mentorship that I see is within the team mostly. It's, the upperclassmen that take the freshmen under their wing and teach them about the campus, about what's safe, where to go, cool places to spend your time. They spend a lot of time together. They do a lot of, they'll just get together and have a video game nights and things like that. We got together one last year and went and beat up the bowling alley up at Zeppo's. Wrestlers are not good bowlers. I think Bob throws the ball 3/4. He only needs a quarter of the lane because it's in the air most of the time. But we just have fun. I want this to be an experience. When Brett Johnson started this program in 2013, kudos to Brett. He started it as a student.
Yeah.
And he wanted it to be a family that created friendships forever. And I was fortunate enough to have Kevin Poitra as my mentor to mentor me through the process in the first part of of my college coaching career. Could have never done where we're at without men like that. And when you go back to all the presidents, every president that we've had that has put major hours and time into this, officers, wrestlers, just a lot of people that have put a lot into this. And it's continuing on. I mean, for the golf tournament, for example, we've reached out to guys that wrestled at Washington State back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. And hopefully some of them will come. One of my best friends from the Enumclaw area, Lang Davidson, was a 126-pound Pac-8 champion. And, he can't make it this weekend, but he donates $100 a month in our All-In Challenge. And
let's talk real quick. Let's talk about the All-In Challenge for people who don't know what that is.
The All-In Challenge is a perpetual donation, $100 a month. You set it up and it comes right out of your account, and it goes directly to WSU Wrestling, into our equipment and travel fund, needs fund. The first one to do it was my sister, Cheryl Schafel. She believes in what I'm doing. And so she signed up. Lang and Rochelle Davidson, the gentleman I'm just talking about, came on board with the All In Challenge. My company, All Phase Maintenance, does the All In Challenge. That's my business on the side that I'm hoping to retire from soon so I can focus on coaching only. And our wedding venue, Elk Falls Wedding, Susan's wedding venue. So we have 4 people that have done that already. And then Carl Bernstein, who is the father of Petra, one of our top female athletes, who's an All-American.
Yeah.
Awesome
Yes, he is.
He does the All In Challenge, but his is set up differently. He does it quarterly, $500 a month, $500 a quarter.
Nice.
And then we have a lot of people that work for companies that match. Like my son Kyler, Coach Kyler, works at Microsoft, and they do a match in October. So when he donates, they match it. Costco does the same thing for Carl. And so little things like that just add up. My biggest pet peeve of not having athletically funded money is that our students don't have time to go out and clean houses, paint fences, move firewood, sell candy. They don't have time for that stuff. They're students. They also need to have time for a social life of some sort.
Yeah, a healthy social life.
And so all these things are part of what I believe why we have a good mental health system on our wrestling team. They don't have to worry about that. We have an incredibly sophisticated but easy fundraising opportunity. We have a big sign for all of our corporate sponsors.
Yep.
When they donate money, we put them on the sign. We take it with us. We put them on our website. We give them notoriety. I can't say enough to thank the people that have stepped up and helped this wrestling team. This team raised $150,000 last year, and we need to do that again. And we will. And I think once somebody sees the impact that this community of this team has on a young student athlete, I can't find a better place to put my money. There's no way.
Yep, we're a good investment.
Excellent investment.
We're a good investment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. So I'm going to take us back to, so we talked about the All In Challenge, and just some of, like you said, at the golf tournament, some of the people that have been invited are from 60s and 70s. So while Lane can't come, I know we've got some alumni coming from kind of quite a distance. Like, who's coming the furthest for the banquet and reunion?
Well, we've had some of the people that were from a long ways away can't make it, like Joseph Lewis, who is one of our team presidents that got this team through COVID. He deserves he kept the team together.
Yeah.
He lives in Texas, couldn't make it up, but he sponsored a cart for $125 at our golf tournament. We've had a lot of those where people that couldn't make it into town sponsored a cart to help us out.
Right.
There's a chance we have more cart sponsors than we actually have golfers. So that's a good thing. And then we've had tremendous support in the people sponsoring the holes for the golf tournament.
Yeah.
Everybody from the companies and families in Enumclaw that have been supporting me since day one. That's kind of why we want to do the college showcase on the west side, to give the fans and people in this area that have given us tremendous support over the last 6 years, give them an easy event to come to without having to fly on a plane or spend a bunch of money or drive over the pass type of thing. But Yeah, we're super excited about everything that's going on. I can't even, I'm just like thrilled with
Our
what
cup is overflowing.
our cup is overflowing. And every time I turn around, it's something great, something new every time. It's awesome.
Yeah, every time you, almost every time you call or text, you're like, great news. We got another female recruit, or
Yeah.
great news. We got another hole sponsored at the golf tournament, or great news. Our team gear, we're doing a gear package with Cliff Keen Athletic. And I've had a sneak peek of the gear package. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, and it's not for sale. It's for team and coaches only. We do have a store. We've got everything from our Cougar wrestling hats. We got beanies. We got t-shirts. We got scarves. We've
Got
got
all the cool stuff.
we got all the cool stuff. You can only get Cougar wrestling gear from us at this point.
Yeah.
And we've got a really nice setup. My wife Susan, who she's superwoman, does just about everything, including coach now, I guess. So
Yeah. Do you hear about that, Coach
I
Susan?
did, yeah. Coach
Hear about
Susan.
that?
Yeah,
I'm excited. She's Coach Susan now.
yeah, she's my coach for sure. But yeah, there's nobody more all in than she is.
There is nobody more capable and all in than Susan Burnett. Nobody.
Yeah. And she just sees the value of she just loves the kids. She loves men, women, doesn't matter. She treats them like they're her own.
She really does.
Yeah.
I feel like she does that with me too. I mean, like Susan is just like making sure I've had something to eat. And are you getting enough to drink? And okay, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, yes, I love it. She
Yeah,
is.
you're not going to find a person more serving or giving than my wife. She's unbelievable.
She really is.
This program would be nowhere near where it is without her.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get no disagreement. That's why I said when she was on our coffee with a coach, I was like, Coach Susan. Did you hear what she said? She's like,
Yeah.
oh, no, there may be only room for one coach in this house.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Coach, is there anything else you want to add before we close out this episode? Because don't worry, everybody. Coach Phil and I, we're going to do more. We're going to deep dive into all things wrestling, maybe some rock and roll bands, baseball, all kinds of fun stuff. But I think for now, we've tried to give everybody, just a little talk about the golf tournament next Saturday. It's going to be fantastic. If you haven't signed up, it's not too late. If you want to golf, it's not too late. Not too late to do a donation, not too late to sponsor a cart, not too late to do the all-in challenge, not too late to, I'll share my chicken I'll share my chicken at the barbecue.
Yeah, and if somebody just wants to show up in the afternoon, early evening, we'll be there till dark.
Yeah.
The golf course has food that you can order. Just come and hang out and purchase some Cougar wrestling gear and have some fun. The one thing I will tell you is everywhere I go, I get go Cougs because I wear my stuff. I'm kind of a big guy. I get lots of billboard advertising with my stuff. And everywhere I go, and I go, better than that, go Coug Wrestling. Well, I had no idea we had a wrestling program. And that's when I hand them my fancy little card here.
Yeah.
And say, get online and start checking us out and following us. We have guys donating to this program that were on the water polo team back in the 80s. We have people that just are on board with what we're doing. And the last thing I just want to say, if you're an athlete and you're like wondering, what can Washington State do for me? What kind of scholarship money do I get to come wrestle for you? Well, we don't have a scholarship program at this point. It's a dream of mine, just like varsity was.
Yeah.
We obtained that. And now we're going to focus on Dream 2. That's getting some kind of endowment help for these fine young athletes, even if it's only $1,000 here or there.
Makes a big difference.
It's something that we want to do. That being said, you know, once you're on the team and you join your club, pay your club fees and buy your gear, we pay for your airfare, we pay for your hotel, we pay for your rental cars, your gas, everything but your food. And so you know, we'll spend several $1,000s on each wrestler throughout the season.
Yeah.
You know, we have so many guys on our team, it costs us like $2,000 just to get school rental cars to get us to the Eastern Oregon tournament. And they're only $65 a day, but when you need 10 of them to get the team around, you know,
yeah. No, I think you're making a really critical point that we're not traveling in a bus to go to these events. It's doing things as affordable as possible. So it's renting, like you said, all these vans and things. It's quite an undertaking.
Yeah, we have a system in process where the UREC Center does a class for van drivers. And so everybody that's over 21 can drive the van X amount of miles. If you're under 21, you can only go 150 miles, something like that. But we usually end up with about 10 or 12 van drivers a season. And it's never enough. So this year we're going to try to get some more.
Yeah.
But we don't cut anybody. You come join the team, you're on the team. When we go to open tournaments, if you say you can go, you're going. The only time we like have to, when we go to national duels, for example, on an airplane travel, you have to qualify by being one of the top 2 spots on your roster.
Yeah.
And other than that, 10 out of the 12 outings we do are the whole team has the opportunity to go. And sometimes it'll cost me $1,000 for the team to enter a tournament just for our entry fees. Yeah, it's $300 covers 12 guys. Well, when you bring 30 guys,
right,
you know, all the tournament directors work with us and try to give us the bulk discount, you know, but it doesn't always happen. But we just do what it takes, whatever it takes. And in a nutshell, if you're thinking about furthering your career, and you're a junior in high school, you're going into your senior year, I would encourage you to reach out, get a hold of us. We'll send you a recruiting package, which will basically be your application to Washington State University. Get accepted. And once you're accepted, now you have options.
Yeah.
Don't wait to see if you win the state tournament to see what kind of offers you get. Just get accepted, and then you have options. And that way you're preparing. And we have more athletes this year that did that early on in the process instead of waiting till, you know, March. Our admissions deadline used to be January 31st. It's now March 31st, which helps the wrestling program because state tournaments in February.
Right.
And you know, I would pretty much guess too, Andrea, that most of our athletes get a lot more scholarship money academically from their hometowns and Rotaries and Chamber of Commerce and things like that,
right,
than you would if you were getting a so-called full ride. So
there's more. Everyone thinks that there's all this athletic money, and it's like there's far more academic scholarship money than there is
way more. Yeah, you just gotta search it out and then apply for all of it.
Right. And a lot of, particularly in women's wrestling, and I suspect this is similar with men's collegiate wrestling as well, maybe at NAIA level and D2 and D3, there isn't they don't have athletic scholarships. They have academic scholarships, they have grants, they have other things they can offer, but they don't always have, you know, no one's getting a quote full ride on purely athletic money. A lot of the scholarshiping is from academics, which is why it's so important, if you are someone who is thinking about, whether you're thinking about wrestling or not, keep those grades up because,
For sure.
it's just like you said, your opportunity to go to WSU but get all this community-based scholarship money is much better if you're performing well with grades.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm excited,
Ask
coach.
me if I was doing that in high school.
Right. Right.
I was like, what's the minimum I need to get into WSU? And what's the minimum I need to apply for or to be eligible for NCAA Division One? You had to, your SAT score had to be X in order to be able to participate. And I was like, I just gotta make sure I hit those minimums. But don't be like me. Be better than me and hit those books and but yeah, no, that's really good advice. Just apply, get in everywhere you can get into, and then make decisions about
Absolutely.
go and see what offers come in.
Well, I guarantee you, I don't care what kind of wrestler you are, if you're 4-time state champion or never medaled at high school, you get around this group, you're going to want to be a part of it.
Oh yeah,
I guarantee it. I mean, we have a 2-timer coming in from Natchez High School, Mitchell Helgert, and I've had at least 20 phone calls from people congratulating us on landing Mitchell Helgert. Well, Mitch is going to be an All-American and he's going to be a national champion. But more importantly, he's going to get a great education.
yeah.
So we're super excited. Guys like that can help us break the ice a little bit. He could have pretty much went anywhere he wanted to.
They can, and I think for people who don't know, we really run the spectrum of like athletes and motivation and drive. We have some fiercely dedicated and driven student athletes on the program, and then we have others that are we have some that are like, look, I just want to keep wrestling after high school, and I kind of want to see what I can do, and I want to see what I can accomplish. And a lot of those will then turn over into those more fiercely dedicated people. So we kind of run the spectrum. So there really is a partner and a teammate for everyone on this team, but no one should marginalize the varsity club status and think we don't have super competitive and super capable wrestlers, because we do.
I know 3 of our best wrestlers never won a state medal in high school.
Yeah.
But they came to Washington State and they're putting in the work.
They're doing great things.
They're making it to the blood rounds, and they'll be going beyond that as we move forward here.
Yeah.
David.
Well, also, a lot of people don't realize that, when we talk about Oregon schools and stuff, we compete against all those Oregon schools. And like at the Mountaineer Open, Oregon State University has some of their wrestlers come down and wrestle in that. So wrestlers have the chance, both men and women, to be competing with the Oregon schools, with Simon Fraser. So
North Idaho.
So there's, we've got really good competitive opportunities right here. And then, as you said, the ability to go and get some, really stronger competition on the other side of the country is important to us. So no one should think that, oh, it's just a club team, how good can it be? Very good, in fact. Very, very good.
Yeah, they amaze me every single day.
Yeah,
I'm really blessed and honored to be their coach.
Well, I know they love you, as do I. You put out the best. You put out the best welcoming mat for wrestling that I've seen in a long time. I know I had the most fun this last season. I'm really looking forward to the season coming up. And I don't know, I might be camping with you down the hill at the I might be, I don't know, pitch a tent. We don't know what's going to happen, but I might be your neighbor down there in Pullman. Coach Phil Burnett, head coach of WSU varsity women's and men's wrestling team. Thank you so much for this episode of Coffee with a Coach for Inside the Den. But don't worry, everyone. Coach Phil and I are going to do I don't know, it might be a 5-part series, a 10-part series, where we're going to dive into more things and discuss wrestling and rock and roll and whatever else we feel like talking about.
Coach, thank you so much. The Inside the Den has been an inspiration. Hearing from all the athletes and the other coaches, it's just, and even Coach Susan, it's phenomenal.
Coach Susan, it's been fun, and there's going to be so much more coming. So look forward to more episodes.
So I don't get the 5 burning questions.
Oh, do you want to do 5 burning questions?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do it on the fly.
Yeah. Do you have them?
Well, sure. I can fire. I'm quick on my feet. All right. Now I asked this question to David, but since you're a coach and you have been through many, many rules changes over the years, 3-point takedown or 2-point takedown? Oh,
I'm old school, but I'm willing to change. So I kind of like the 3. Let's take them straight to their back, get the 4-point near fall, and be up 7-0.
yeah. Let's see what. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Let's make a comeback off of that.
Okay. All right. Heart, the group Heart, or Fleetwood Mac?
Fleetwood Mac.
You know, that wasn't very good. I didn't offer up.
Oh, actually, Heart. Susan and I are actually going to see Styx and Heart at the Puyallup Fair.
As you should.
And I've seen Heart live. I've done some work in the lighting industry around them, and they're phenomenal. But Fleetwood Mac, that Rumors album back in the day, it's the one.
I know, man. That hits me right in my 70s and 80s.
Yes, ma'am. I didn't hesitate either, did I?
No, you really didn't. And honestly, that was really a terrible comparison, but that's all I could think of. So it wasn't really a very fair question.
It's all right.
Okay. You're stuck on an island.
Do I get a fishing pole?
I gotta decide what am I gonna offer up food? Kyler or Susan? Which one do you pick?
Is there electronics to deal with? I take my partner all day long. Yeah. Wouldn't be no Kyler without.
All right. Oh, we lost you there, Coach, for just a second. Let's see if he's gonna come back. Are you back with us? You were frozen there for just a sec. Yeah, you're back.
I see you.
Okay. Burger and fries or a pizza?
Who's making the burger and fries?
You don't get to decide. It's just going to be put on a plate in front of you. Yeah. Burger and fries or pizza?
Burger and fries.
Okay. Major League Baseball. Pitching clock or pitching count?
I kind of like the pitching clock change. It's making the game move a little bit. Yeah. I played catcher for over 20 years, and I hated it when guys took too long to come to the plate, man. I'd be like, come on, let's get this done.
Yeah, I feel like the game got a little sluggish there for a while. Like, oh boy, how long is this game gonna last?
Well, yeah, and the pitchers do that to get the batters out of their rhythm and off balance and stuff like that. And I think it's going to be good for the game.
Okay. I got one more, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm like searching. What do I ask Coach Phil? You asked me on the fly. I wasn't prepared. Oh. Chevy or Ford truck?
Dodge.
You can't. No, I didn't give that up. That wasn't a choice.
Yeah. Dodge all the way. That's my baby that gets me back and forth from Pullman to Auburn.
Okay, well, that's true. Do you have a name for that car? Because I think you should.
Susan's car.
distance car.
Yeah, I steal
Um,
her car for the trip.
for people that don't know, Coach Phil's son Kyler just bought a brand new manual transmission Bronco.
Yes, he did.
And Kyler has been learning to drive it. And apparently, the story is that Kyler told me is he brought it to your house and you got behind the driver's seat and you drove it without any problem after not having driven a manual in quite a while.
Quite a while.
Yeah, but how'd that feel to be back driving a manual transmission?
Oh, it's cool to see the look on his face that I could do it without him telling me what to do. And I actually taught him a thing or two on the downshifts.
Yeah.
I took my driver's test in a manual vehicle.
So did I.
Yeah.
I took mine in a Volkswagen Bug, 1972 Volkswagen Bug.
The old shift gears, yeah. I mean, I was a three sport athlete, so I didn't have time for driver's ed in school. I had to go pay for my own class, and all they had was a manual. So I said, okay, here we go. Yeah.
I was trying to give him advice, but I was like, hey, this advice only works on a flat surface. When you're parked on a hill, we got to have a different conversation.
You're right. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, I want him to bring, I think he owes us all out in Pullman when we're all there together. He needs to make an appearance with that Bronco, because that Bronco that's a Pullman staple out there.
Yeah. He drove his Porsche over there one time and didn't like the potholes on Highway 26. So I'm pretty sure he'll bring the Bronco next trip.
The pothole. Oh my goodness. All right, Coach. Thank you so much for your time today.
Coach, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Yahoo.